Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Miguel, aka Mighty Migs, and the host of this Passion for Acting podcast episode. And today's guest is none other than Amelia Conway.
Hi, everyone.
But before we go further ahead with this tomfoolery, I'd like to mention that the sponsor of this podcast episode is actually Sydney Actors Association. So if you're an actor looking to sharpen their craft, please visit the Instagram page below and just tell them that actually my good friend Sam Haft, which is also her acting coach, just kidding, we sent you to actually go to him to learn some new tricks here and there, yeah? But without further ado, give us an introduction about yourself, Money Penny, aka Amelia Conway.
Well, first of all, the reason why I look a bit crazy is I just did a 60 shoot before I came here, so that's why I have these crazy eyelashes. But they're kind of fun. They're kind of cute. Like, I don't mind them, actually.
Oh, it suits you.
Yeah, I like it.
It suits
But, no, what do I say? I mean, I don't know. I'm an actor, model, presenter. I've been doing it for the last, more than 10 years. Too long. No, but I love it. And it's my passion, and I want it to be my career. And that's why I'm here chatting with you, just to talk more about the craft and the highs and the lows of the whole experience. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at introducing myself, clearly.
Oh, well, that's actually the ideal introduction you just did.
Oh, is it? Okay, good.
Exactly. It's meant to be like a conversation because it's not meant to be like a full-on presentation. Like, this isn't like Fox News or CNN. It's like,
good.
okay, how are you? Blah, blah, blah.
I'm very
Nothing
well.
like
Thank
that.
you. Nice to meet you.
Exactly. Well, I'm practically James Bond. This is my Money Penny.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And this is the office we filmed it in.
Exactly. And there's so many memories here as well, not just in that, but you know what? Amelia made history in this venue just right here, yes? So,
How did I make history?
how many times have you been here? Like, you've
Oh,
been here for
true.
MC
Yeah, this is like maybe my third, fourth time here.
And
Yeah.
you've been here for a Bond gig, and this is like your third time here. And, you know,
Just
you
love
should
it.
have your name in the
It's
wall
just
list.
a great
Yeah.
office. What can I say?
Yeah,
Just
did you hear
love
that, Nick? I know you're listening
It's
to this,
just
yeah?
I really love this office.
Okay, we're gonna give her a spare key for this office as well, yeah? Okay. Thanks for that introduction. So, anyway, so the next question here. So, what was it like having an ensemble role as Luis in Friends and Strangers? Fill us in.
Yeah. So Friends and Strangers is a very kind of art housey kind of indie film by director James Vaughn, and I did that back in 2018 actually, and that was one of the first roles. I auditioned for it on Star Now of all places, and they invited me into audition. This was I'd done one film before this, but this was my first I don't know, felt like a bigger one. They had a decent budget and stuff. So I did the little audition at Sun Studios, and then a few days later they called me and said they wanted me to do the role, and so I was like, sweet,
Oh,
yeah. And so the character was kind of like an uppity eastern suburbs, rich bitch type of vibe. So just played myself basically. So I'm from the North Shore, not the East, but
Exactly.
but yeah, and it was interesting because it was one of those films where they didn't give you the full script. They only gave me my scenes. So I didn't actually know what the rest of the film was about. I only knew my scenes. And so on the day when I was doing my stuff, there was all these other things going on, characters doing and saying things, and I had no idea of the context of how that fitted into the rest of the film. But that was how James wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did finally see the film, I was like, that's what it's about. So yeah, it was cool.
Wow. Yeah, because you don't see the bigger picture until you see the whole thing, right? Because
Yeah.
when you're actually doing just your scenes, you can only get stuck in your scenes because you're telling your part of your story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 2018, that was 6 years ago today.
Yeah, and then of course it took a while in post-production, and I think they released it, I don't know, it must have been 2020-ish. And it's done pretty well. It's got a few awards, and it got screened in Jetstar in-flight entertainment, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got screened at a few cinemas in Australia and America and stuff. Just independent kind of thing. But
did you say Vince Vaughn, as in that actor Vince Vaughn?
no, I said it was streamed on Jetstar in-flight entertainment.
Oh, okay. What did I hear
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn?
I know. Maybe you've got Vince Vaughn on the brain. There's something you need to tell me about you
Vince
and Vince
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Oh, well, I was watching Dodgeball the other night.
Oh, that must be it.
There we go. Because we roll.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Oh, well, we can go on for hours talking about that movie, quoting quotes, just like my cousin Mark. He's going to be listening to this as well because we quote dodgeball quotes all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
I like what's that one? Blades of Glory. I mean, that hasn't got Vince Vaughn in it, but
Is that the guy with the Napoleon dog?
yeah, and Will Ferrell. I love that movie.
I've never seen that movie fully, but I would love to see it only because I want to see what the fuss is about. Because sometimes I just love watching chapsticks, because like it's just like after a busy day at work, you just want to laugh. Like I mean, my favorite chapstick's probably Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Or even Ace Ventura when it nature calls, because after a stressful day.
Yes, I love Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I like the second one better than the first one because see, Pet Detective. It's funny, but I didn't find it as funny as like the second one actually. So yeah, but that's just me. You might actually be to defer with that. And
I think I like them both equally. I like both of them. There's only two, right?
Yeah, there's only two. Yeah. Well, Jim Carrey didn't want to do the second one, but I reckon it was even better than the first one. That's just my opinion about the whole thing, anyway. So yeah. But anyway, good answers there, and that's actually just made your debut, and we're done now. Just kidding. Anyway. She'll be back next week, yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go to the next question here. Please discuss your lead role in the thriller short called The Nightmare.
Oh, good question. So The Nightmare was a short thriller film I did with Alex Proyas, and he's the director who also did The Crow and I, Robot. And since, he's not doing that stuff in Hollywood now, he's doing a lot of independent stuff here in Australia. And he has his own streaming platform called Vidiverse, which he creates a lot of his own content, like short films and things that go on there. Because his style is very like creepy and weird and intense and dark. And so it was really, really cool to work with him. And I also got to work with Lindsay Farris, who was in, is it Ash versus Evil Dead or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, look it up.
I can't remember which one. But anyway, he was a really nice guy, really amazing actor. So we filmed that on Cockatoo Island, and it was only a day of shooting, but it was fun and it like a really high quality output. Like it looks really schmick. The only thing was that Alex wanted me to speak in like he wanted me to be really Australian for some reason. So I had to be like, no, don't get away from me. And so
somebody from Wilmington.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Actually, the North Shore girl, don't worry. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, I cringe a little bit watching it back because I like the accent, but otherwise it's a really amazing.
I could be wrong, but it sounded like the House's kind of accent thing, like just like Junior's girlfriend. Come on, give me my money, down. Yeah, I want to get a ciggy. Yeah, I want to get a cuppa.
Don't.
No, don't, exactly.
No.
I'm telling on you, I'm dobbing on you. Yes, and just like, some of those bogans that I had back in my primary school days, like I used to pester some of them. And like, oh, Mom, I'm dobbing on you, this. It's just like, Mix did this. And like, I did do nothing. And like, come here. So
yeah, I think it must be definitely inspired by that.
Oh, okay. So it's a short film done in in a day.
Yeah.
And so in a day, I mean, how many hours did you guys get to shoot that?
It must have been about like a 12-hour day. The brief synopsis of it is there's a woman. You don't know if she's in a dream or if it's reality or a nightmare. And she bumps into her ex-boyfriend who's like really threatening to her.
Mm-hmm.
Look, to be honest, it's not super deep, but it's a good little watch.
Okay. I want to see the actual film clip.
If you watch it on Vidiverse, so you do have to subscribe onto Vidiverse, but I don't think it's a lot, and it's all like Australian content and stuff on there. So it's definitely worth like subscribing to and supporting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long? It's like a 5-minute, 10-minute short film or what?
I think it's 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
15, 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Cockatoo Island. I mean, they shot, I was a part of that zombie one. What's it called again? Panic on Rock Island. Not my scenes, because I was playing like, one of those small feature role soldiers there. And we're in the commanding post. But, most of the scenes were actually in Panic on Rock Island, in Cockatoo Island. Yeah.
Okay.
The zombie one, yeah. It's a low budget.
So you were a soldier?
Yeah.
A zombie soldier or just a soldier?
No, just in command. It's like I just giving command. Like I remember just one of my few dialogues I said I was just like, following orders from the, my person in charge. With
That's
Grant
cool.
Bowler. Do you remember Grant Bowler?
Don't.
He was in Blue Heelers, but he was actually in like True Blood as well, like that vampire TV show.
Oh, okay.
He was in Ugly Betty as well. Nice guy, one of the nicest celebrities I've ever worked with. This is back in 2010, after coming back from Sweden and just coming back from Europe. And yeah, it was a good experience, but it was just like long hours in Wynyard, so Cockatoo Island, out of all places, actually
it's hard to get to.
Yeah, apparently. But it is what it is. So do you have any more further comments with that question there? Like, playing the lead role? The nightmare?
I mean, it was co-lead, me and Lindsay. But, I mean, go and watch it. Subscribe to Vidiverse and watch it.
Vidiverse.
Would be my last comment.
Okay, cool. Looking forward to seeing a younger Amelia, you know what I mean? So, yeah, who's still got a bright future ahead of her. Yeah.
As opposed to the one now.
Oh,
jaded
as if you still don't. Come on. I mean, I only invite actors to the podcast who still have potential.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
But, I'm not saying that lightly, but we can talk about that after we finish recording.
Right.
I'm just kidding. But it is what it is. It's probably the cheekiest episode I've recorded so far, but I love it. It's like a James Bond money penny thing here. So, yeah. But, okay. So the next question here. So what was it like performing your lead role experience as Mrs. Bella Manningham in Gaslight 4 on stage for the Pinball Players Theatre last year, 2023? Yeah?
So yeah, I played Mrs. Bella Manningham in Gaslight for Pinball Players. That was amazing. So I love film. I feel like I've worked really hard to develop my craft on camera, and there's still like a lot to learn. Like there's things I don't like about what I do with my work, but I feel like I'm at a place where I'm confident in the work I do on camera. But I wanted to challenge myself, and I didn't want to just be like a one trick pony. I wanted to be able to transition seamlessly between theatre and film, because some of the actresses I look up to, like Kate Blanchett or Sarah Snook, and they're equally talented both on stage and on screen. So that's why I auditioned for this play, and to my great delight, I got the lead role. To my great delight and then immediate terror, I got the lead role. And so we had 3 months of rehearsals, and I had to sort of learn a different way of acting, mostly just my voice. I had to learn projection, develop, an ability to have, the like performance fitness kind of thing, to perform live and make sure my voice can keep up. But I did, and I have, and I feel like it's really added to my like playbook as an actor, vocally and stamina wise. I loved it. It was an amazing play. I was very happy to be chosen to do it, and I'm doing another play now at the moment.
Oh, look, we're going to get to that in a second, but tell me more about it, because I saw so many of your posts during that time, and it was just like, I think it was just after we filmed our James Bond kid. Yeah. And, Hayley and I wanted to come watch you, but obviously, unfortunately, you said that, they ran out of tickets.
I think it sold out, yeah.
Oh, you guys were doing something right.
Yeah, which was really nice. So.
Yeah. Look, that's the thing about theatre as well, like, because like in this podcast here, I've actually realized that theatre is actually more of a sprint and film is more of a marathon. So what I mean by that, with theatre, you have to go all out. When you perform it, you can only perform for at least a few hours at most. You know what I mean? But when it comes to film, you have to, endure, like, just longer hours.
And dish out your energy throughout the day kind of thing. Yeah, whereas with the theatre, it's like, okay, here's the show, it's 2 hours, go hard, go home. But with film, you go, oh, fuck, I've got a 16-hour day ahead of me, and maybe like a random gap in between, and then I've got to do this intense crying scene at 6 o'clock at night or whatever it is. So I know what you mean. It's much more like you have to ration your emotions and your energy out.
Of course, because like in the beginning of the day, you could have this really, really sad scene, and then later on when you move on in the same place, you're going to be happy, so how do you do that? But you just have to adapt, be in the moment, you know what I mean? So that, and not only about film being a marathon, but the next week or even the next day, you have to be in a different location, different time of the day. Sometimes you have to do the graveyard shift where you film overnight.
I like that though. I like the variety of film. Like I do thrive a little bit on the uncertainty of it. Do you know what I mean? And like being in a different place, going, oh fuck, what's the address? Where am I supposed to be? I said that house. Like, you know, I kind of love the sort of chaoticness of it.
I know. Yeah, I think for me it's brutal when you're doing the all-nighter ones because I've done that a handful of times. Because you know me, I like to sleep by 10:30 or something like that. But you know what? This is acting. It's not personal training. So I have to compromise sometimes. And that's the thing about doing those filming those night scenes is that most likely it's going to be after hours because it's less traffic and it's cheaper for the production company to actually seal off all those things. But this is a sacrifice that we actors actually have to make. And so it's not meant to be easy. It's not meant to be glamorous, and people think it's meant to be glamorous.
Yeah, people think it's glamorous, but it's really not.
Oh, fuck no. You know, I just swore in my own thing. But,
we're not meant to swear? Sorry.
Actually, no, you can swear all you want.
I'm bad with swearing, I swear.
No, I swear all the time. I was like, oh.
Okay, good.
Anyway,
it's
just, you can if you want, you know, because I could always just filter it out. I'm just kidding. I swear a lot. Trust me. I dropped something like, you know, so I dropped the keys like coming up the stairs. This office just a few hours ago. Oh shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
I'm gonna beat that.
This was downstairs. Yeah, I don't think it's recorded. So yeah. No, look, I mean, swear all you want. Okay, so I'm just gonna give rate it as a MA 15 plus or something like that. Yeah, it's due to her course language. I'm just kidding. yeah. And what about that? So that Pinball Players Club actual thing was that a gig was actually like based in the 1950s or 70s or.
So Gaslight, that was based in the what was it? I can't remember if it's 1800s or 1900s, but I think it's like 1900s. It's like olden day.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw the costumes, you know.
Yeah. So I can't remember if it was 1800 or 1900, but anyway, olden day kind of attire. And we didn't like go too hard on being like perfectly period correct, but just to give it a hint towards it. So that, you know, and then we spoke in English accents and, you know, received pronunciation. So, you know, had that old world feel.
Oh, good evening, my friend. 007.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah.
Yes,
nice to see you again,
James, I'm not here to talk business. I'm here to talk about me.
Okay.
Money.
Well, anyway, let's get out of work. Let's just have fun and just. Have you finished your porto? I'm just kidding.
I did actually. Thank you for that.
That's okay. I mean, happy to help because, like, you know, I try to accommodate to my guests, and even when we're rehearsing in here, like in this office, I try to accommodate to the guests. You know what I mean? Not because not everyone's going to be eating the healthy food like I am, so I'm going to be giving some things that people like. You know
what are you trying to say? You think I'm not healthy?
I'm just kidding.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, that was actually recorded in the camera just then, so I can't get away with that. Yeah, I'm not going to edit that bit there because I want people to feel the cheekiness of this thing. So yeah, but it is what it is. Yeah, but well done. And you know that's actually one of the things that stood out to me in your Facebook posts or even in your Instagram posts during that time, because it's like, you know, that it was my idea. Like let's watch Amelia and perform in that. You know,
you guys should come to the one I'm doing now. This one's even better, I reckon.
Oh, look out. Yeah. Is it in Pinball again?
No, it's in Epping.
Epping, okay.
It's called, can I talk about it?
Of course.
So the play I'm doing now, it's the same director, Joyce Sweeney, who did Gaslight. She's amazing. So the play is called Home, I'm Darling, and it's like got a 50s aesthetic. So I've got like a little wig, and I wear all like the 50s dresses, and, you know, and it's so Theatre on Chester in Epping is where it's playing. And yeah, it's a really fun play. It's like a much more lighthearted than Gaslight. It's kind of a comment on masculine and feminine and patriarchy and feminism and female roles and male roles, but it's all done in a very interesting and thought-provoking way. Like, yeah, and it's fun. It's got a comedy and a good drama. And,
so it's not one of those things that's trying to offend anybody. It's just more like just making fun, taking the mickey of today's pressures, because, like, you know, people who are against feminism or the patriarchy and all that stuff. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, I mean, it's more just like subtle undercurrents. Really, the story is about Judy and Johnny, and Judy, played by me, is obsessed with the 50s, and so she chooses to live a life at home as a housewife. Yeah, as a tradwife. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. and she fully lives in the 50s, and it seems like this perfect life, but as the play goes forward, it's sort of this facade of her perfection unravels.
Oh, okay. So she's not content.
Yeah, so it really is a story about the relationship, like of Judy and Johnny and their marriage, and I think it's very very relatable. Actually, I think a lot of people would relate to it.
Yeah, I guess that, because obviously I'm for traditionalism in that context, but I don't want my wife to stay at home if I was married, because I want her to help me bring the bacon home or bring the dough home, because living in Sydney especially, it sucks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, it's expensive as heck. That's just my opinion about it. But anyway, it's good that, you could make fun out of this, because people who are easily offended by these things, I mean, look, that's up to them. I don't want to deal with that, you know what I mean? Because things were better in a way before political correctness actually started becoming mainstream, in my opinion. Yeah, because I'm not saying political incorrectness is always right, but it's just it was more fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it's definitely gone too far in some areas, for sure.
Yeah, I guess so. But
everyone, everyone's different. Everyone's at different places in their life. Everyone's got different levels of sensitivities, and I don't think you're ever going to get to a place where everyone's
happy.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's a lovely idea, but I don't think it's realistic.
It's not realistic, because I've said this so many times before, not just with my guests face to face in here, but in real life as well. I grew up in Parramatta where there's a lot of racism, and the racism that I actually received from myself are not from white people, from non-white people.
Really?
Yeah. Other Asians are telling me, "Oh, look at you with your muscles." It's Asians don't suit muscles and all that stuff. Who do you think you are?
Strangest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly.
Every guy suits muscles. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Not everyone's meant to have the six pack. Not everyone's meant to have that incredible Hulk look. But the thing was, that's what I mean. It's not. I didn't say I didn't receive it from white people. I received it more from the non-white people.
Really
which is kind of interesting, because when there's pros and cons to diversity as well. Because
100%, I agree.
Yeah, because my brothers and I grew up in Parramatta, where we were first generation Aussies, and there was a lot of cultural clashes back then. You know what I mean? So and so but I've learned to adapt to that kind of humor, because for example, the fat pizza kind of humor, the houses kind of humor, I can relate to that, because exactly, the fully sick kind of humor. And that's why when our mate Hassan, hey Hassan, he make all these fully sick jokes often. You know what I mean? We bag each other's races out. You know what I mean? Because it's all for fun.
Yeah, I personally, I think it's good to laugh at yourself, but it does take. You do have to be at a certain place of comfortableness with yourself to be able to do that. So yes, obviously some people aren't, and that's their own path, their own journey.
Exactly. But my point is that why do you think politically incorrect shows Fat Pizza, when it came back, the ratings boosted up? Because that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Because stereotypes do exist to a certain extent, especially with the Asian community.
True.
How many Asian guy nerds have you met? 90% of them are pretty much nerds or geeks. They work in IT. Not against your hubby, who works in IT. But
that's interesting you say that, because even actually in his field, and when I see him on his Zoom meetings and stuff like that, usually he's the only white guy. So he mostly works with Indian people and Asian people, and that's fine. That's what they're good at. That's their skill set. That's what they're good at. Exactly. So he's usually the odd one out. To be honest, he actually is.
There we go. So but there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, sometimes I don't feel as bad about it anymore, because I used to call one of my brothers Ben a geek growing up, because he and I were like cats and dogs growing up. We barely got along, but we got each other's back. If shit hits the fan, I stood up for him if he was getting bullied, or vice versa. But at home, we're just like cats and dogs, and then my youngest brother Jerome would actually be the media and say, "Hey, stop it," So, but at the same time, he was the geek in the family. They're both geeks, actually.
What do they do? Are they?
They both work in corporate worlds. Yeah. But Ben's more of a web designer, and my youngest brother's actually the country manager of some Singaporean health company. You know what I mean? So but anyway, long story short, my brother Ben and people like him run the world. The geeks run the world.
100%. I totally agree. I've always liked nerds, just putting it out there. So
no, you got married to one.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But come to that. I never realized this until my mother actually just pointed out, hey, you're a health and fitness geek. True.
True. Yeah, true. You actually are.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't actually.
You didn't escape it. You still are a geek.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the genetics, but it's just more like the meathead kind of geek.
Yeah.
It's like it's all about protein and omega 3s and
Your
complex
macros,
carbs.
man.
Yeah, actually, that's more like Sal, our friend.
Oh
Sal.
yeah.
He was always counting macros, and when he's telling me when he asked me about how many macros I actually count, I'm like, well, I don't give a shit. I just eat well. I don't need to count my macros.
I don't even know what a macro is. So.
Me neither. Actually, I sort of do, but it's just like I don't want. Remember, personal trainers were not nutritionists. So people think that we can give nutritional advice.
Disclaimer.
Exactly. I'm gonna put that in there.
Yeah.
Anything but this there, then and there. But it was going back to that. Like I just want that politically incorrect humor. It's not always good if it goes too far as well. Like because some things can go too far. And it can offend some people, and I can understand that. But for people who support the political correctness, which is possibly a minority, that's up to them. You know what I mean? As long as they're not trying to shove it down other people's throats, that's all I care about. And I respect that. I know a few actors who are into the woke stuff, but that's up to them. And I respect them for that because they don't actually try to shove it down my throat. And I've got my own views on that, but I'm a casual in that. And I just tend to mind my own business in that one, yeah. But but anyway, even though we went off topic, it's just it's actually a good thing that we just discussed that because, I respect people's views as long as they're not harming anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm a pretty open-minded person, and people want to do something as long as they're not hurting anyone or anything like that. Then do what you want to do, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't bother me because I'm going to go do what I want to do. So
exactly, you're modeling, you're acting, you're living the dream. A lot of women are just trying to think, I want to be like Amelia. How do I get into the big screen like her? How do I
work hard?
Exactly, it's all about that grind.
Work hard and then work harder, and then just as when you think you're working hard, work even harder.
Exactly. Or just time to taper.
Just when you think you can't face any more rejections, go and have some more.
Oh yeah, rejection is a part of life, and rejection is a part of life. Even for us guys, if I get rejected, if I'm interested in a girl, I get rejected. I know it's part of life. I know for a fact. Okay, now I know I can move on. So that's the thing. It's in the dating market. Even though I'm not dating actively at the moment, maybe not. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't get back into the dating scene. But I'm just enjoying my life, being an ambitious bachelor. So each to their own.
Yeah, focus on your career and focus on the stuff you want to do, and then the right person might just come along. I don't know. I'm quite a spiritual person, so I don't know. Probably if it sounds woo woo to you, but I'm very much like I do feel there is like some sort of guidance or a path for me, and often when I'm really focusing on just bettering myself or focusing on my work, opportunities just seem to present themselves, and that has always happened for me. So if I, for example, like if I was at home and I'm like, I have to get cast in a big film. I have to get cast. And if I'm, chasing that, it never comes. But if I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on like going to some acting classes, maybe writing my own stuff. I'm going to start doing theater. If I just like really just hone in on what I love, which is the actual act of acting, the opportunities just seem to present themselves because like what I love is acting. I'm not doing it to get to somewhere. I'm already there. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so anything else that comes along my way is a cherry on top. Like, I already feel like a success. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, yeah. And I don't know, like a lot of people, that's different for them because they think, oh, well, I'll be a success when I'm on Netflix, or I'll be a success when I'm in Hollywood. And that's fine. That's your goals. Like, have those goals.
Yeah.
But for me, like I used to be a graphic designer and I used to work in an office every day, like 9 to 5, and it was really depressing and I just hated it. And so now that I get to go, I get to act, I get to go to all these amazing places, I get to meet all these really cool people, I get to dress up and be different characters. Like that's like a huge win for me and I'm so happy. So for me, it's like I've already made it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you said, there's different versions of success. I mean, it can come in the form of money. It can come in the form of, okay, I've started this type of film. I've done this kind of theater production. Everybody's different, because for me, I can be similar as well. But, going back to that diversity thing that we're talking about, diversity also means that with different ethnicities and skin colors will come with different beliefs and opinions. Yeah,
That's
because
interesting.
obviously, for example, like my spiritual background, and I'm still a Christian, but I'm a bad Christian because that's why I barely preach about it, because I feel unworthy to preach about it because I'm a hypocrite in so many cases as a Christian. But it's because of my mum's a very devout Christian, and she's taught me how to love my enemies and just forgive those who have trespassed against you and all that stuff. I have a hard time doing that sometimes, but at the same time, I mean, we're human, but we're aware of it, and that's the diversity thing. Like, for example, Hassan, our friend, is actually coming back from a Muslim background, and it's overall different beliefs to Christianity. But at the same time, we respect each other's beliefs.
Yeah.
Which is what I believe. Yeah. I believe that Jesus Christ is God in the flesh, but Muslims don't believe that, but that's up to them.
And I don't believe in any God per se, but I believe in just like the energetic nature of the universe. So it's all three completely different beliefs, but not who's to say one's right and one's wrong.
We'll find out when we die.
Like, we'll find out when we die, exactly.
Yeah. But I'll stick to my beliefs, but at the same time, you know what, actually, people are going to be reading, when we're talking about our beliefs, our actions.
Yeah,
our actions. Yeah. Even for me as a personal trainer, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time with one of my guests, but, as a personal trainer myself, not just as an actor, people are watching me when I'm hanging out with him. What is he drinking? What is he eating? And
true.
I get judged a lot.
Yeah.
But I stick to my own guns. I stick to my own lane. And if I say no to alcohol, I make it very clear. No, thank you. I don't want to drink. Can I just get a soda water instead? Because I don't like alcohol, for personal reasons.
Do you drink at all? No. Have you ever?
Or? Back in 2007, when I was 23, my 23rd birthday, that's the only time I've been drunk, and it affected my whole week of training. I said, this is the first and last time.
Right?
I don't want to do it. Yeah, and because of that, I don't have any alcoholic problems, and I stay away from alcoholics in general, from bad experiences.
I think it's smart.
But it is what it is. But going back to our spiritual journeys here, as long as you stick with your guns and you're not harming anybody and you're setting a good example, even for me, my Christianity background, and even with your universal theories, and people are going to be looking at your actions and my actions at the end of the day. Yeah, is Amelia a hypocrite, or is Miguel a hypocrite, or are they good examples of their beliefs? That's what they're going to be reading. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But speaking of that, as an actor, we don't really have to bring that when we're performing. I could be.
Well, then we can be hypocrites, when we're performing.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. It allows us that flexibility to explore different parts of ourselves, where we don't have to feel like we're compromising who we really are.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, so.
Yeah, exactly. If your character's like that femme fatale, and that character of mine when I played that crooked cop in Broken Badge, I'm not a crooked person in real life. You're not a femme fatale in real life.
No, I'm a fucking dog.
But you know what? Yeah, swear all you want. Yeah. This is just like the Joe Rogan podcast. We can swear if you want.
Is it? Oh, it's just like doing it weed too.
Oh, look, this isn't my office. Remember that. So otherwise, you can smoke in here all you want.
I don't even smoke it. So.
Oh, good. Why bring it up? I'm just kidding.
Because they do it on Joe Rogan.
Oh, they do too. Yeah, they do. Depending on the actual guest, right? They're actually smoking the Cuban cigars or drinking some whiskeys and all that stuff. But anyway, going back to that, that's what I love about acting, is that you can be that version of that bad guy or the good guy I'm playing. You can be that good girl that you're playing with the bad girl you're playing. You know what I mean? So
it's fun.
And what my acting coach Sam says is that the nice or the good people often play the
bad people. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
If you had to play the femme fatale, for example, you could play that well because in real life you're seemingly a decent person. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Seemingly.
Well,
seemingly
okay. Well, you are a decent person.
Maybe not actually decent.
I don't even know where that seemingly word just came out of my mouth. Well, give me Mickey all you want, because that's what we want. You know what I mean? Because we want this to be not a boring one where just people are going to fall asleep to this podcast. We want people to tune into this episode and just get hooked, because it's I like the
of the minds.
Exactly. See, this is this is therapy. We're talking about it, right?
It is.
Yeah, in an acting context, See, yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Now, what's next? What's the next question?
Yep,
I am getting sleepy.
Okay, let's get you out of bed.
Because I've had such a long day.
Okay, so please give us a brief insight of your two upcoming indie films in Lost Generation and Unseen.
Okay, great question. So, let's talk about Okay, I'll talk about Lost Generation first.
Sure.
So, Lost Generation was a film by my friend, another James Actually, how do I say his last name? Is it Cayley? Anyway, another James. And he has a production company called The Night Drive Pictures. So the film was based on a book by Ernest Hemingway called The Sun Also Rises. And basically what we did was he created a feature-length script from the book, and we used the same dialogue and the same sort of old world language that's written in the Ernest Hemingway style, but we performed that in like a modern setting. So we just had a screening of that film just the other night, actually, at the Golden Age Cinema. So we got to see it up on the screen, which is always such a thrill to see your work up on the screen. Look, it was a zero budget project, so obviously it had some production issues in terms of sound and lighting and all of that. But I think overall what James did was really beautiful. He has a very like artistic eye, and he definitely wanted the film to have a very art house European feel to it. So, and it was a fun character for me. I got to play Lady Brett Ashley, who's like a kind of a maybe not femme fatale, but definitely think like a very like a socialite. She likes to drink and she likes to be the life of the party, and she's sort of like she sort of leads on a lot of men, and so but in behind closed doors she's actually like quite unhappy with herself and all of this. So she was a really fun and interesting and like glamorous character to play. And I got to work with a good friend of mine, Patrick Gallagher, and he's lovely as well. So we were able to like build that relationship between, because he was the main character Jake and I was Lady Brett Ashley, the love interest. So it was really good to work with him and build the relationship between them, because it's like a complex and like flawed relationship where it's like she's sort of leading him on and then he's sort of leading her on, and then it's like it's one of those films where it's not really quite resolved at the end. You're like, are they together or are they not? Which I kind of like the way that James did that.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds like another role that's actually fun to play for you and all that.
It was
stuff.
really fun. I really enjoyed playing that role.
Oh, wow. So what's your favorite kind of role? Do you like to play the bad girl or the good girl? Or both?
I mean, I think like I think in broad brushstrokes, like, because every character, even if you're the bad character, you still think you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So even the bad character doesn't think they're bad. So I don't necessarily like, oh, I want to play the bad one or the good one, but I don't know, like people ask me that all the time. I'm really open. I'm not like, no, I don't want to play that. Like, I'll give anything a go. I guess the only thing I wouldn't want to play is just like the boring mum in the background who has like 3 lines and is like, Johnny, time for school. I don't want to play that.
I don't think anybody does.
Exactly. But I've played a lot of mums who've been really complex and interesting characters. So, I'm open to like whatever someone thinks I could play. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's good. Because see, I don't think you have a typecast like me, because usually I play a cop or a soldier, but or even a bad guy now more often. Now that I'm nearly 40, I'll be 40 in a few months. So, but it is what it is. Just like in Unseen Enemy, you were both a part of that, but you got a bigger role than I do. So because you're
I played a lawyer in that, which I think I do tend to get typecast. I either get typecast as mums or lawyers or psychologists, which isn't a bad thing. They're cool roles to play. But yeah, Unseen Enemy, obviously we were both in that. And I played Marissa, who was a lawyer. She was like a good character. And we filmed a lot of her scenes in this office, which was really cool. And yeah, she was a supporting character, so she wasn't like a huge integral part of the story, but she had some good scenes, and I got to work with a lot of the other main actors, so that was really fun. Yeah.
Are you probably the only white person in the cast? Yeah, everyone else is an Asian. Enemy? Everyone else is seemingly Asian. Like, actually, you got that. What's that? Simon. He's actually
Iranian, I think.
Yeah, he's Iranian, of course, but he's he's obviously not an Asian person like myself and the rest of the crew.
Because Rini is in it. She's blonde.
Oh, Rini. Oh, yeah. That's right. What's her name? Jamaica.
Jamaica's in it.
Yes, Jamaican.
I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know what her ethnicity is, but I'm assuming she's Caucasian. But I don't really think about that kind of stuff, to be honest. I just like working with great people.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I remember, I had how many days were I there? Like, I was probably there for more than 7 days in total. Like,
wow.
yeah, maybe even less than that. But I'm not good at counting. Just ask Nick, who owns this one here. I often miscount reps when I'm.
Yeah, you make people do extra.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you miscount them.
I miscount them because, like, I sometimes I'm critiquing the technique. But going back to that is that, yeah, it was fun playing those roles because, like, obviously we'd have a early start today at 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. But sometimes, like, that's not as bad as like getting a 5 a.m. call time. But for me, it was just fun because, like, I like working with Sal and I like working with Matt because a handful of my passion projects were done by them. You know what I mean? So I paid them and they made it into reality. So it was fun, and that's why when they asked me to do it, it's like, yeah, heck yes. And then they told me, look, it's for free though. It's like, don't worry about it. Like, because I want to do a fight scene with you, or ideally we were supposed to have a fight scene, but time ran out. But I can respect that. It's beyond my control. I was just happy that Sal and Matt actually looked after me while I was on set.
Yeah, no, they're lovely. I really hope that they put a lot of hard work into Unseen Enemy, so I really hope it gets picked up for them. Or they've got some amazing fight sequences in it. They put a lot of time and thought into the storyline, into developing the characters.
Yeah.
Like cinematically, it looks really cool. So fingers crossed for them that they can get somewhere with it. It's just so hard.
Look, whatever happens, happens. Because remember, like, with Sal and Matt, they don't, I mean, seriously, especially with Sal as an actor, he does his passion projects as his whole acting career. So my passion projects are only a part of my acting career. I audition for bigger and better things from my agent as well. And I do my passion projects and do my acting classes on the side just to keep my acting muscles, like, healthy and sharp, So with Sal and Matt, that's their whole career.
Yeah.
And that's why I can respect them for doing that, because they've actually invested so much into their craft.
Time and money.
Exactly, because when I first started working with them, they only had very few equipment, and they weren't as organized back then, but they were still organized, but they're not as sharp as they are now, because it's just with experience is the best teacher, especially in this context here. But I'm happy that you actually got a good role in that.
Yeah, I was very grateful.
And I'm looking forward to actually seeing the final product, because even though I'm only there for a few scenes, it was still fun. I'm just grateful because, like, with Sal and Matt, I'm forever in their debt because they looked after me, and most of those passion projects that you see me doing on Instagram and Facebook are done by them as well.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now you know. So I'll show you them later, or maybe even tomorrow if I remember. Yeah.
Sure.
So let's go to the next question, so you can go to bed soon.
No, so should it be?
Don't worry, you can't sleep here. It's not my
it's freezing here.
Oh, look, I mean.
Imagine your friend just comes in the morning. I'm like, oh hey.
You know what? I forgot to turn on the heater. The heater's. I could have done that, but it's okay. Okay, so what is your character as Joanna like in the upcoming apocalyptic thriller called 13 Seconds?
Yeah, so I did a film called 13 Seconds, name pending. It may possibly get changed.
Yeah.
It's an apocalyptic zombie thriller. When did we film that? 2022, I think. And I play Joanna, and I'm basically, this apocalypse has happened, and I'm with my husband and my son, and we're trying to survive in this zombie world.
Yeah.
And basically we get this idea that we should take our son out of the city and take him to my grandfather where he'll be more safe. And so the story sort of follows us trying to get our son out to safety, but obviously in this apocalyptic world. So it's kind of like, think like 28 Days Later / The Road. If I play the mother of the boy, he's the main character. Benji. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. That's my most favorite film I have worked on to date, and I'm so excited for it to be released. I think I did really good work in it. I just loved working with Ashley White and Liam Worthington were the two co-directors, and I just excited for them to see what happens with it, because I think this is my most promising project that I've worked on. So I can't say too much about it because it may potentially get a cinematic release, but that could be a year away, 2 years away, who knows. But regardless, whenever it does come out, I'm just very excited for everyone to see it, because I think it's a really cool film.
Oh, I do like those zombie type of stuff because I can't get enough of it. It's like Train to Busan.
That was really good.
That was really
Yeah,
good. And
yeah.
one thing about the zombie apocalypse genre is that teaching us is that we need to have good cardio.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just like in Zombieland, cardio is number one, and that's why the fatties actually get eaten first. No offense to the fatties, you know what I mean. So you got somebody who's fit like Amelia who can run.
Well, I'm fit. Like I'm not cardio fit though. I'm like yoga fit.
Yeah, because you're a yoga
Yeah,
instructor.
yeah. Like my cardio is not that great, so I'm probably gonna get.
Let's go for a run.
By the zombies.
Let's go for a run after this.
It's obviously gonna be better than me.
No, but that's the point. I'm willing to run in this and dry clean this tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
I'm not going for a run. I'm going to sleep.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy enough to actually work out at this hour either because my workouts are actually in the mornings. Not today, though. Not in the weekends. But but that's awesome. Because I can imagine, right? Like most of your scenes in that actual project, you'd be like scared, just like.
Yeah. It was very like high intensity, life threatening, like extremely high stakes. Like every scene, like my character's biggest concern is obviously the safety of my son. And there's a couple of scenes where like my son's about to like fucking die, and I'm like distraught in terror and fear. And it was amazing to like go into those spaces and feel that. And like by the end of the film, like I felt like Benji was my son. Like him and I, like we definitely just had like a bond. He's such a sweet boy, and he was 12 when we filmed it, so I think he's like, gosh, he must be like 14 now. So he was just a little boy when we filmed it, and now he's like growing. His voice is broken, and he's getting a little moustache, and he's growing up. It's so weird. So we
got a deeper voice now as well. It's like, hey Amelia, remember me? I work with you.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, that's the thing, because take this as a compliment, but you look young enough to be his older sister.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So, I mean, look, we both look younger than our age.
Yeah,
so that's
you look a lot younger than me.
But that's Asian genetics, that's just actually it has its pros and cons.
Mine's thousands of dollars worth of skincare and sunscreen.
Well, I use aloe vera in mine.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera, yeah.
What like just pure aloe vera?
Yeah, I just put it in. That's all.
Okay, you need to give me your.
I'll show it to you afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
And plus, like drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
Just eating a lot of omega-3, such as like.
I take a omega-3 like fish oil tablets. Yeah.
Well,
they help.
Start eating some real stuff like avocado oil, because remember, supplements are there to supplement your nutrition.
When you say avocado oil, like I can just eat avocados, right?
Yeah.
No, I love avocados. Yeah,
I
have them all the time.
I have it on almost every day as well, and just like
so good.
Yeah, what you eat, and that's why I look like an avocado. Yeah. Or a fish, because I eat a lot of fish. But but look, before we conclude, but you know what? I just like we can go on for hours and hours about this genre, but I can't get enough of that zombie stuff. Because
I love zombie stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? There's this other one aside from Train to Busan. It's called All of Us Are Dead. It's actually a South Korean one. Yeah, it's actually like 8-episode series, the first season. Yeah, and pretty much every episode of that season, you're going to be like, oh, run, or you're just like, oh shit, how are you going to survive? How are you going to like?
I love doing that, like putting myself into the mindset. Like I think that's one of like my favorite things. Like sometimes I have to pinch myself when I'm like on set, and I'm like, especially on that film, they're like, okay, in this scene, what's going to happen is like the zombies are going to run up the street and chase you, and like all the extras are down there like ready to go, and like you're going to dodge through these cars, you're going to grab your son, like hide behind here, and then you're going to hit this one with the machete or whatever. And I'm like there, I'm like, oh my god, like when I was like a little kid and I used to watch zombie movies, I'd be like, oh my god, what would I do if I was in that situation? And I'm like, now I actually get to play it out. Like it's so cool.
I know, right?
And it's just like the best thing ever.
And then when you're actually being in that actual set, you feel like, okay, ready, set, action, run. Like it's like
it's so life. Yeah,
that's so right. Because if you get overtaken by the zombies, just one bite, you're going to be a zombie.
And they were so scary too. The extras, like they looked amazing, and then they were like chasing us down the street. I was like, I didn't even have to act. I was like, fuck, this is terrifying.
Those people, they had to have some kind of like a rehearsal of how to move like a zombie, right?
They did.
Because in some of those zombie movies that we see, like Zombieland and all that stuff, they have to rehearse how the way a zombie moves. So of course,
we had like zombie school. We had like zombie training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really did.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. But look, I mean, one last thing I want to mention is that, I've had those dreams in the past where it's just like a very bad dream. You're actually stuck in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, you wake up, you're like, oh man, Yeah, exactly. Have you had
It's
those
not real.
dreams before as well?
I mean, not of a zombie apocalypse, but I have had like weird film, like more like Auntie and Enemy. Like I've had weird dreams where like for some reason I've been in like a fucking safe house and the I don't know the assassins are breaking in, and I'm like wake up like it's not real.
Oh wow! I mean, it's different genre for you.
Yeah,
Though.
yeah, yeah.
For me, it's like a zombie stuff. I've had that a
Yeah.
handful of times. It's just like I'm running my head off, and how am I not running out of gas? Like, I've been running. I've been sprinting for the past half an hour, and then I wake up thinking, oh, it's just a
It's just a
dream.
dream. I wish I could run that one.
But not just that. I'm thinking, oh, thank God, it's like those zombie marks.
Yeah,
And I looked outside the window, and I'm just like, okay, traffic's still normal. Everything's normal. This isn't reality yet. I mean, this isn't the zombie reality yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Look, that's probably the cheekiest episode of actually.
Did we go for too long? How long were we meant to go for?
No, just for less than an hour.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so it's 15 minutes. I'm not going to go for a whole hour because you need to have your beauty rest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Well, thanks for doing this. It was really nice.
No, look, pleasure
Appreciate
as
it.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing, eh? So we do appreciate you tuning in, and if you haven't done so, please press the like and subscribe buttons and view exactly. So view the comment section below, or even in the description box below to see Amelia Conway's Instagram page, and follow her on Instagram and in TikTok as well if you want to. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and have a good rest of the night. And we'll speak to you soon. This is Mighty Meeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.